Hello everybody, this is Dave Whipple and you're watching Whip's Cheap Guitars. Today we're going to go acoustic. This is the Epiphone AJ220S. Let's see what this thing sounds like and if it's really all it's cracked up to be. Stay tuned. If you're into cheap guitars, I'm sure that this one has come across your radar before. It's cool. It's got this got kind of that old Gibson J45 round shoulder type of thing. I don't know what the specs are exactly on it, but who cares? What does it play like and what does it sound like, and is it something that you should spend your money on if you don't have a ton of money to spend on a guitar? This one came from Sam Ash. This is a $124 guitar and they shipped it to me for $8. Usually these are about $235. So if you get on eBay right now and you can catch that Sam Ash open box deal, that's a cheap price. My first impression of this guitar is it's a little bit of a mixed bag. It feels great because of two things. Number one, the thickness. It's not overly thick. It's a round shoulder dreadnought, which is just more comfortable. The neck on this guitar has that satin finish that you see in the advertisements, and it actually feels really good. But the tone of this guitar, that's what we really care about, because the guitar is a guitar is a guitar. What does it sound like? Is it worth spending your money on? Let's find out. Now my first impressions, this guitar is not an overly loud guitar, and it doesn't have a ton of bass. It's got a lot of kind of ringy highs to it, and it's a little boxy, but it is a solid top and it might open up over time. If you can get one of these in that $125 range, I think you're going to be very happy with it. If you have to spend full price and $230, for $225 you can get a used Seagull, and frankly it's a way better sounding guitar. Not as comfortable, but better sounding. This AJ220S from Epiphone, I will say this, it's got great tuners. These are just your stock Grover tuners, but they have a very high ratio on this one. You got to turn the tuner a lot in order to actually tune the string, so it's a fine ratio. It's a good tuner. Fit and finish, it's Epiphone. It's out of Indonesia. I like Indonesian guitars generally. But I would say on this particular guitar, you can find a used guitar that's going to sound better for $150, $200. Does this guitar sound bad? No, it sounds pretty good. It's a little boxy, it's a little thin. Sounds like it's got some bottom end that wants to come out, but you really have to dig into it to make that happen. The one thing I will say about this guitar, if you strum hard, if you're a hard picker, hard strummer, it does tend to sound better. It kind of comes to life the more you dig into it. If you're just strumming lightly, it's pleasant, it's a decent guitar, but if you dig into it, it gets more solid. You don't get a ton more of ring and chime. You get a little more meat to it, and that's kind of nice. You see a lot of old Gibson J45s and stuff, and they're a great sounding guitar. But they are kind of a high, clear, dry sounding guitar. And this one has a lot of that flavor. That clean, dry, clear sound. And I kind of like that because my other acoustics are darker and warmer and richer. And this one kind of got a bit of that Gibson dryness to it. there you have it. The Epiphone AJ220S. Good rig for the money, if you can get it in that 130 to 150 range. I don't think I would pay full price for this particular guitar. I want it to be louder, I want it to be deeper, I want it to be more percussive. And it's just a different animal. It sounds a lot like a Yamaha. It's clean, it's ringy. It's a little on the thin side, but realistically, there's not a lot of stuff in this price point that sounds fantastic. And if you just want a good guitar to grab and go with, and you can get one of these guys for $1.50, there's no reason why you should be disappointed with it. Is it a Martin? Nope. Is it a Gibson? Nope. Is it decent? Yeah, it's not bad. If you have a lot of guitars that are warm and rich, and you want something that's a little more clear and transparent sounding, this would be a good option for you. Along with any of the Yamahas, they all kind of have a very clear tone to them too. So, you know, I just call it the way I see it. I love cheap guitars, you love cheap guitars, and anything that's cheap is worth our time to at least check out and evaluate and see what we think of it. And that is my take on the Epiphone AJ220S. Thank you guys for watching Whip's Cheap Guitars. See you soon.